Welcome to a Friday in my life. We do a little bit of everything today. I just finished reading my word. Oh my gosh, I forgot to pray. I should do that real quick. And then we are going to do a to-do list just to keep me on track because Fridays are pretty flexible. So I need some structure so that I'm not all over the place. I threw my bedding down the stairs this morning so I would remember to put it in the wash. Don't mind that. Maybe I should move it. Okay, Google, play Autumn Jazz Radio. I have no idea what today's date is. I don't know if it's the 7th or the 8th. Things I would like to do, and then things that I need to do. To-do list, done. Welcome to my basement. And it honestly looks like I hide dead bodies down here. It's definitely a functional space, great for storage. So I give glory to God for that, and I am so grateful. All right, so today is towel and sheet wash day. My Persil laundry detergent, a little bit of Dawn dish soap when you're washing your sheets, makes them super bright. I even use this for like my light color things. I recently got this electric tea kettle. I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, I look crazy. But how cute is this little vintage tea set? We got 2 of them. I love them. They just literally make tea time so much more fun. Wait, as the brain say. Also, super random, but one thing that has helped me as somebody that I feel like, I know I have had undiagnosed ADHD, and thank the Lord Jesus, he's really helped me be able to navigate that because he's the creator of minds and he knows the things that we need to do to help with it. Anyways, functionality is huge. So like for example, in this little cabinet down here for a coffee bar, that's where we store all of our coffee mugs, and I'll show you. It does not look aesthetic at all, but it makes sense for here, so you're not walking back and forth and then you're not leaving things on the countertop. Not the most organized. But then also in here, since we're making tea, I moved my tea boxes in here instead of having them on the other side of the kitchen. So that way, again, it's functional, it's convenient, and I also put my apple cider vinegar and honey in this little pocket right here because that's what I use in my tea. With that, I would like stress myself out because, again, having a busier mind and not being the naturally most like everything's perfect kind of person, but I can't think straight if things aren't orderly. God told me, like, he's about order, not aesthetic. So as long as you have your home in order and as long as you're doing your best to maintain it and steward it well and it is orderly, it doesn't have to be the most aesthetic. You don't have to have matching organization cubes in every single cabinet to make it look super pretty and perfect. I hope that helps somebody because that really helped me. That was a word for me when he told me that, and I was like, amen to that. I was like stressing myself out. You know, you see on social media like the perfect fridge stock and like every matching containers. You feel like if your fridge doesn't look like that, like you are slacking, you're lazy. But the reality is as long as you have it orderly and you're doing your best to take care of that and maintain that, that's all that matters. Also, I'm out of my apple cider vinegar. This officially goes in an empties video. Okay, this just turned into like tips that I do to help with my brain. But say something like this, I ran out of it and I know I need to go upstairs in a bin in my room. Instead of leaving it on the countertop, I just put it right on the stairs so that way when I go upstairs, I remember to take it up to my room. And that way it's not laying around everywhere and I don't have like messes everywhere. It's like a condensed mess on the stairs of things that need to go up. Also, I highly recommend a stair basket. So Alex and I got this picture years ago in the art district in New York. It's just like a random print of coffee. Got this originally to put in our coffee bar in our room. The more that I looked at it and like put it in the coffee bar area to see if I'd want it there, I was like, this is giving very live, laugh, love. Isn't it? Or is it cute? Should I hang it? I was thinking like if I get a really pretty ornate like vintage frame to put around it. Give me your honest opinion. Is this giving live, laugh, love? So I saw this Instagram reel the other day of this girl. She was like 22 years old. And she said, I'm 85 years old, but I woke up today as a 22-year-old. And she goes on to like say all the things she did in her day as a 22-year-old that she was able to like experience again and appreciate. She talks about like being able to go for a run and how her joints didn't hurt, and then her mom called and she was so happy to hear her voice because her mom was alive. since she was 22 again. That reel has really stuck with me this entire week. For example, today, I didn't wake up in a bad mood, but I could have woke up in a bad mood if I didn't hurry up and reset my mind, which I think is huge. Every morning, pray that the Lord renews your mind. You have to retrain your mind because your mind will take you wherever it wants to take you. You have to take control of your thoughts, or that's when depression and all that starts to set in. And I used to notice that with myself in the past until I started to take captive of my thoughts. And so this morning I woke up and then I was like, no, like, Lord, thank you so much for the air in my lungs, for giving me another day to live. I'm alive. Like, and just, I started this morning like, okay, what if I just like plopped into my life right now? Like, whether I was 80 and I woke up today as a 29-year-old with the life that I'm in right now, or even just like, I think about me being 16. If I woke up today in my life right now, I would be so grateful. And so I feel like it's important for us to do that, even if you're not exactly where you want to be. Think about if you were sick and if you woke up in the able body that you're in today, like, what would you do? How would you appreciate it different? If you were 95 years old and you woke up as a 45-year-old mom of 3, what would you, like, how would you appreciate that? How would you appreciate the moments that you're in today? It really got me thinking that, and it really has like shifted my mind a ton, because I really feel like life is all about perspective. We have to be grateful for where we're in, because there's always going to be somewhere that we want to go, but chances are where you're at right now, like, you prayed for at least something in your life that you have right now, and now you're living in it. And we can't be so focused on the next thing. We need to live in the present, because one day we're gonna look back and wish that we would appreciate and soak in the season that we're in right now, whether it's because there's somebody in your life that's alive right now that won't be alive in a season to come, and like, maybe you might look back and be like, dang, I really wish I would have called my mom more, or appreciated that friend that was in my life then. Things like that. Even if our lives aren't perfect, we can still value and appreciate the people that we still have with us today and not take it for granted. And yeah, that was just like on my mind heavy this morning, and I was like going through like just thanking God for my family, my parents, my grandparents. It really got like this pep in my step this morning. Other thing I want to do is put away this laundry. Also, I threw myself together really quick. It's crazy how much more I get done when I like don't feel like I look like a little boy.
Hey Rocco, you can help me do some laundry, Rocco? You're a good boy, Rocco.
Alright, gym. Underwear, shirts, PJs, my room, underwear drawer, gym tops, PJs, gym tops. I like to create mini sections depending on the area that the clothes goes away in, and then I'll start folding. And that way when I go to put it away, it's easy to just grab my stack and put it in its correct drawer place.
You're such a good boy, Rocco. Rocco, why are you so sweepy, Rocco? Best friend.
Again, with the piles, this is a pile of things that need to go in the basement or downstairs. So I just put it all here before I go down. Laundry is put away. This is how one thing leads to the next. I had no intention of sweeping, but brought the broom out to do one thing, and now here I am. We got a new couch in, so we moved the couch that was here, right here. And this couch has a very relaxed vibe. This is a cloud couch dupe. Don't recommend getting cloud couch dupes, because as you can see when you use them, they look like this, sad and frumpy. But they are very comfortable. So I'm gonna spruce this couch up, and then I need you guys' help on whether I should keep these white pillows here or move the ones that I had in my bedroom upstairs down here and move these upstairs. While I do this, I'll lay down the carpet powder. Will leave your house smelling amazing. I like to put it on my rugs, and then I'll even put some down my garbage disposal, because it's like baking soda. So good. I want to let this marinate while I fluff up my couch. One side, because Rocco's using this side and he's so comfortable. Like, this cushion is still comfy, but it has a little bit more structure. The only thing I don't love about this cushion is that it's like a very stark white, and I like how this one's more of like a creamy white, you know? gives the couch a little more structure. Oh, I wish you could get an idea. Why did Rocco have to sit there? Are you a good boy? You don't want to be on camera? One of my favorite cleaning things to do is to wipe down surfaces. So I'm gonna quickly do that while I wait for my laundry to finish in the basement. I'm gonna wipe down all the windows, all the like little tables and stuff, get all that cleaned. And then after that, we'll sweep and get the downstairs in order. And I think that'll be it for cleaning for today. Do I want to clean the bathroom today? Might clean this downstairs bathroom. I don't know yet. I'm just going with the vibes. I want it to be chill, you know? I don't want to put all this pressure, but I at least just wanted to get everything like dusted and orderly. What a beautiful sunny day. I mean, there are some clouds in the sky. It is kind of windy, but another tip I like to do to keep my mirrors clean all the time is I keep one of these little microfiber cloths in like a little pull-out drawer like this, and I keep it right here with some Windex on hand, always in here. That way, whenever you're like brushing your teeth or washing your hands, if you get water on there, you can just quickly spray it and wipe it down so the mirrors don't look like blotchy. Because I feel like that'll always make a bathroom look way more dirty than it is. And it's an easy way to like keep it looking clean throughout the week. Finish cleaning this later. I'm gonna wipe down the surfaces in this living room. Pledge and a gray microfiber towel, 409, and this white microfiber towel. I'll use this for like any wooden surfaces, this for non-wooden surfaces. I've had this and I've been like almost out for like 6 months now. I'm like, I need to finally finish this, so I am gonna use this first before I go to my 409. To be honest, I don't like the smell of this. It's way too intense. Like, it makes me nauseous. I way prefer the 409. This is another random cleaning thing that I like to do. So these I keep on our little ottoman, and I have one tray that holds a remote, highlighters, and pens because I'm always reading my Bible or journaling there, so it's nice to have it on hand and not just laying around. Rocco's brush, so I remember to brush him. And, well, that was weird. I also have some hand cream and like a lip balm. Convenient to have out. And I feel like because they have this little home on our ottoman, it prevents them from just being like laid out sporadically throughout the living room. They go back in this place. And even though it may not look the most aesthetic with this like little brush hanging out, it's functional and it's convenient so that your house is orderly and not messy. And this is what I mean when I talk about like orderly, not aesthetic. Like, this is not aesthetic, but it looks pretty and it's orderly and it works for me. And these are little things that it took me like, I don't know, so much of my life to realize. Little hacks like this that make such a difference as somebody with, like I said, undiagnosed ADHD. It's tiny things like this that bring so much like peace and order in my mind and in my day. So I just thought I would share that because some of you might be just as loopy as me. And I saw somebody say somewhere, actually I was watching this psychiatrist, and she was like talking about like the downfall of this generation. And she was talking about how like this generation, we use our, I guess, disabilities or like mental obstacles as crutches to continue to have like poor behaviors and habits, instead of like diagnoses were meant so that you knew what was going on, so you knew how to like treat it, implement things in place to help overcome it because you knew the source of the issue. So you're like, okay, this is, now I know what I need to do to live with this in an effective way, versus using it as a crutch, like, oh, I can't do that because I'm like this, you know? Because it should not be your whole personality trait. That's something I pray about daily, because I'm like, okay, God, you literally designed my brain. You made me this way for a reason, whether it's for your glory, to completely deliver me from it and be able to have like a peaceful, orderly mind, or it's to show that like, okay, you have to submit your mind daily and he'll give you like the order and help you through each day. Because I truly feel like I have to rely on him each day just to have an orderly, smooth day. If not, I'm like, my brain is so sporadic and chaotic. And it's just been so amazing to see the night and day of like the peace that I have when I submit to him. And when I'm like, Lord, I need your help. Like, help for me to get everything I need to get done in an orderly way, in a way that makes sense. And he helps me. Oh my gosh. I pray Rocco stays sleeping because this FedEx driver is about to pull up and he loses it, but he's knocked out. Anyways, I'm gonna finish wiping this down. What's up with these little random TED Talks and rants? Oh no, he's gonna lose it. I'm gonna put him in the bathroom real quick. BRB. Nothing makes a room feel lighter than when you start just wiping down surfaces. Like, just start wiping everything in a room down, even things you don't touch, and it literally, when you're done, the room will feel like a breath of fresh air. I do this probably every other week or every 3 weeks. Yeah, I think the last time I wiped down every surface in the living room was like 3 weeks ago. That time I went ham. This time I don't think I'm gonna go as thorough just because I don't have the mental capacity for it. Another crazy thing that I noticed, you know how they say like pregnant women will go through a nesting phase where you just start cleaning house and you start putting everything in order because you're like prepping for having a baby. I realized that I think it's the week before my period or like sometime in my phase, like I go through a true nesting phase where I'm just rage cleaning, deep cleaning everything, cleaning out every corner, crevice, and like that's normally what I'm doing, like the super detailed wiping down every surface. Let me know if any of you guys get that way, like you go through a period during the month where you just start deep cleaning everything. This was another order over aesthetic thing. I used to have these random books that I thrifted here that looked way prettier on the side table, but because every morning I'm grabbing my journal and my Bible, and I used to have them in a basket, but I wouldn't put them back in the basket. They would end up just being thrown around the living room. I was like, okay, why don't I put books here that I actually use? So every morning when I wake up, I just take this off, grab my journal, and I started to leave my Bible open like this on the little side table. That way I'm more inclined to just pick it up and read it throughout the day. It has helped. I don't do it every single day, like throughout the day, but it's made me like gravitate toward reading it more when it's just open like this. And I feel like it also looks pretty. I love this little corner. Oh my gosh, speaking of not aesthetic but orderly, this bowl used to have like random stuff in it for decor, but now we just use it as a catch-all for like things I'm grabbing when I'm running out the door, like Rocco's leash and my headphones when I'm going to the gym, keys. Again, doesn't look the most aesthetic. It looks a lot better than just being thrown around this little front area. One thing I do want to figure out though is something for PR. I thought about getting a bigger cabinet for this area, like one of those pretty rounded ones with like the glass doors. And I figured I could use it to have the things that we have in here, but then also it would have like a section for PR that like I haven't unboxed yet. That way it's not just sitting right in the front. Because that does drive me a little crazy. I do try to be good at unboxing it every Friday. This week I didn't have crazy amounts too, which is nice. But sometimes this area is like filled and I'm so grateful. But I just want to have a system in place that like makes more sense than having it just plop there. All that to say, before we tackle wiping down that front section, I just heard my laundry is done, so I'm gonna swap that out. I'm also gonna bring the stuff that I needed to put in the basement to donate. I have that in my laundry basket. I think when I come back up, I'm gonna have a little coffee break because I'm starting to get a little sleepy. It's crazy. I feel like I haven't done anything and I'm already feeling like I need a break. But you know what? We're getting things done and you deserve a break. Don't overwhelm yourself. I feel like so many times we put pressure on ourselves of like getting things done and it has to be done a certain way. Like, no, take the break, sit down, enjoy life. Enjoy your beautiful home that the Lord has blessed you with. I did want to take Rocco on a walk today, like in the afternoon. I found that those walks are nice to like get a break of what I'm doing in the house. But it's so windy. It's so windy that my power keeps going, like flickering. It happened in the middle of the night last night, and I think it's already happened twice this morning. I brought this down to donate. This is a fragrance. Plato's Closet takes back fragrances as long as they are like a third full. But I sprayed it to make sure I wanted to give it away. And I kind of like the way it smells. But I'm like, I don't need another fragrance. But it does smell nice, it's clean. When Alex comes home, I'm gonna ask him what he thinks of it, and then I'll either leave it in this bin or pick it back up. I also brought down this one to donate. Beautiful magnolia. It smells really nice. It's just not... Ugh. See, I start second guessing myself. Dang, that does smell nice. I just feel like when I spray it on myself, it doesn't smell as good. Why is it so hard for me to give up scents? Okay, we'll leave it in here. If throughout the day I change my mind, I can come back down and grab it. I also need to take out dinner. We're having steak tonight. I don't think it's smart to put you guys there. We were gonna go out to eat, but honestly, I've been loving Friday nights at home. Last Friday, I took like 2 little TV dinner tables and put them together, and we didn't have a tablecloth, so I just grabbed a unused bed sheet and put it over and put like a little candle in the center. We had a little candlelight dinner in the middle of our living room. It was a vibe. I love it, and it's so much cheaper than going out to eat. So I think that's what I want to do again today. I just love the vibes. Ooh, I did want to make bread today. I did want to do that. I can start that at like 3 o'clock. I learned how to make Italian bread. Okay, perfect. So we got that going. My coffee, I'm gonna get started. And then while my coffee is brewing, I think I'm gonna wipe down this fridge because that's driving me crazy. And I didn't want to clean the kitchen today, like deep clean, but I think I might just wipe down the countertops real quick while we're here. Just because they're looking a little crummy. The microwave is looking a little splotchy. All I'm gonna do in the kitchen, because if I end up making Italian bread, I'm gonna have to put flour on the kitchen surfaces, and I just know that's gonna get messy. So work smarter, not harder. All right, coffee break over. I'm still sipping on some of it, but I'm like, okay, we gotta get back on it. Putting everything down and put it on the floor, right, Rocco? Ooh, look at Alex and I's wedding picture. Actually the only wedding photo that we have. I want to print more out for my friend's wedding. As her wedding gift, I ordered like the mix tiles, which is basically, actually I talked about this in a gift guide video. You go to the mix tile website, you upload the photos that you want printed, you can choose the style of frame, and it prints out the photos in the size that you want, and they'll ship it out already framed, which I kind of want to do because I feel like I just don't have the patience to, like, I don't know, do it all myself, find the frames. I mean, I guess it could be simple, but I'm the dummy that always messes up, and like we'll go to have a picture framed and then the head's cut off. So I've been meaning to do that. I want to put it in like one of the walls, maybe even up our stairwell. I feel like that could be nice. Comment below if you've been following me since Choka days. This was my childhood dog that passed away December 21st, 2022. I never thought that I would ever love another dog the way I loved him again. And then Rocco came into the picture, and even when Rocco first came in, I was low-key like it struck like hurt in me, like I was re-feeling the grief of losing Choka when we first got Rocco. But as time went on, I just started loving him so much and loving him differently. And he's like Choka in some ways, but also completely opposite. Like Choka didn't like to cuddle at all. He wanted to be in the same room with you, but didn't want you to pick him up or hold him. Rocco is like the ultimate like cuddle buddy. Like if I'm sitting down editing or doing anything, like he will just find a way to just curl up in a little ball like he is right now and just like nestle up against you, and it's honestly the best. I think it low-key healed me. After Choka passed, I would have these dreams of Choka being alive again, and they were honestly like kind of traumatizing, but also like low-key funny in a terrible, sick, twisted way. But it'd be like he would come out of the dead and he was like crippled, and I was like, oh my gosh, Choka, like you're alive again, but I forgot to feed you for like 2 years, which then led to him dying again in my dream. And I had that same dream like so many times. Yeah, ever since getting Rocco, I haven't had any of those dreams, and I still love and I still miss him, and I believe that I'll see him again in heaven, and I feel like him and Rocco would get along again in heaven. But like the Lord knew when to bring Rocco into my life, and he knew the kind of dog that I needed that would not replace him, but like fill in areas in my heart differently. And yeah, every time our neighbor's dog barks, Rocco runs up to Choka's picture that we have here. It's on top of his ashes, and he'll go up to the picture and just smack it. And I'll randomly catch him sometimes like throwing the picture on the ground and like scratching on his face. Like he has this unresolved beef with Choka. Maybe on his way down from heaven, they just like maybe had a fight over something, and he just will not let Choka thrive in peace. I told Alex I would get rid of 2 coats when I thrifted a really nice one, and I feel like this is the coat that has to go. Ew, yeah, it's like made out of plastic. So this is gonna go downstairs in the donate bin. It's also crazy because I spent $70 on that coat, and I've thrifted 100% wool coats for like $12, $20. I'm done buying coats from H&M. One of my biggest pet peeves since I was a kid is floorboards, like dusty floorboards. I don't like, they drive me crazy. And I noticed, I'm normally on them, but I noticed in the front room and like up the stairs, I had some like dusty little baseboards. So I want to make sure I get those areas. I literally just got so distracted. I was like sweeping this section, and then I realized I forgot to do that. So I'm going to quickly wipe down some of the floorboards. My camera battery is about to die. I'll be back. Tineco vacuum mop, my favorite discovery of 2024. It literally vacuums and mops your floors at the same time. So I'm gonna do that, and then I go over top with like a little floor polisher. Where you start to just go nonverbal and you're just in the zone.
experiences. And out of all the testimonies on that documentary, this testimony really touched my heart. And so ever since then, I've stayed in contact with Steve, and today's my joy and honor to welcome you to your podcast.
Yes, thank you, Pastor Vlad. It's an honor to be here. I'm a big fan of yours too. So yeah, the blessing is mine, the honor is. Yep.
So Steve, if we can go to the beginning.
Yes.
How was your childhood like, and what kind of a faith and family upbringing were you raised up?
Yeah. Why are some people rich and others poor? So to seek spiritual answers from a very young age, I was in the temples and grew up as a very fervent Buddhist, trying to reach nirvana actually.
Okay. And eventually around the teenage years, your family immigrated to the United States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the age of 9, I immigrated to Boston. My mother is a registered nurse, so she got recruited to Boston to go to church. My other friends would invite me to church, but I kept saying no.
Because you were loyal to it.
Yeah, I tried. So I was training. I was the key tenets or beliefs, which is metaphysically, mathematically possible. So when they tell you there was no beginning, you always existed and you always will exist. That reincarnation has always been and it always. I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life, forever and ever. But they're that's how you escape suffering.
Okay.
And then they said, so I had no qualms about it, that it's part of life.
Mm-hmm.
But I was partying just like everybody else in college, discovering adulthood.
Some kind of a void that you were trying to escape and fill.
Getting high, it was just always there, and I don't remember being sober the entire summer. Let's pray. She goes, yeah, I'm open. Like, can our church come? She goes, please send them. They come to the medical center. Later I found out they prayed for me for 8 hours. Lord, save. So, you could be Calvinist, God predestines you, Armenian, or you choose God. I don't care. Prayer changes eternal destiny.
Wow.
Prayer heart.
Were you in hell at the time when you heard?
No, I was coming out.
As you coming out?
Yeah,
okay.
Because when I opened my eyes, I was so shocked that I was still alive.
Jesus. I literally prayed over my camera lens because it just fell and was so blurry. And he made it good. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Oh, no, I don't. No, I'm kidding. I do want to. See, how could anybody ever get mad at this dog? Do you see what he does? You see how good of a boy he is? Alex and I do the subscribe and save for these protein bars because they're just so good. And they're nice and filling. They kind of like curb your sweet tooth. And they sent us all this PR. Protein cookies, 10 grams of protein, 200 milligrams of caffeine. Let's see how many calories. Ooh, 90 calories. Unboxing all of my PR. This is all the garbage that I've condensed. So now it's way less messy. I can't believe it's daylight saving soon and the sun will be setting later. Anyways, I want to make some Italian bread. I want to get started on it now because I feel like if I get started on it now, it should be ready by dinner time. 2 packets of yeast. Half a cup of warm water. Something about the way yeast looks just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Waterfall. We're gonna let our active dry yeast poof. While that poofs, we're gonna start this portion. So I need 2 cups of hot water. So I went ahead and took 2 cups of water that's going in the kettle. And then we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar, which I'll just add now because we're also gonna add salt and flour eventually. Oh, perfect. Ready. 2. Now we're adding 3 cups of flour. Probably should have sifted this. Honestly, I had no idea how simple it was to make bread. I thought it was a way more strenuous process. Alright, my active dry yeast should be ready. There should be a bubbly layer, and that's when you know your yeast is ready. Honestly, I really like like this little Hamilton mixer. My mother-in-law got it for me for Christmas. It's so good. I'll link the recipe I'm using below. I start by adding just 2 cups of flour, and then if I find it's still like too sticky, then I'll add the 3rd cup. But obviously it's way easier to add than to take away, just like with makeup. This is ready to just sit. We're gonna cover it with a towel and let it rise for an hour. I like to take it out of this metal bowl and put it in a glass bowl just because I remember when I was doing sourdough, they said sometimes metal can like interfere with like the rising process. And just to make sure everything's good, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I also learned from a sourdough recipe to like cover it with a damp towel so it stays moist. Let's see. Oh no, I feel like that should be good. Was I supposed to add the oil too? And this is why I always say, if I can do something, anybody on the face of planet Earth can do it, because I'm always messing up. I'm always skipping a step. Like, I'm just the queen of mishaps, but things always end up working out for me just fine. And sometimes better than how it would work out for most people. So it goes to show, like, don't trip up over the small mistakes. Just keep going, and sometimes it ends up working out. Sometimes you create something different. So I forgot to add a 1/2 cup of oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. What's the worst that can happen? So it says a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I personally do not use vegetable oil, so I'm gonna do a 1/2 cup of avocado oil. I don't even know if I have enough avocado oil. It might be just enough. Oh my gosh. Yay! Pouring the oil now. All right, because of that mishap, I think I'm gonna add 1 more cup of flour. Now we're finally ready to transfer this into the bowl and let it sit for an hour. That feels good. It looks good. Just lightly dampen this kitchen towel. Now we let it sit for an hour. Before I prep dinner, I actually want to make some ice cream while I have this mixing bowl out. Technically for ice cream I need my heavy whipping cream, but I have 1/2 and 1/2, which has worked for me in the past. So I'm gonna see if it'll work again today. And yeah, I'm just gonna whip up the rest of the 1/2 and 1/2 that I have, and I wanna make like a coffee ice cream with some maple syrup. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the rest of this 1/2 and 1/2 because honestly, it might go bad soon. So might as well make it an ice cream. I just poured some maple syrup in there, and then I'm gonna take some instant coffee, and we'll do a couple scoops of her. I used to do this with just stevia as like a weekday sweet treat that's 0 sugar. It was honestly so good. It was salt. Let's do some sugar-free hazelnut syrup in here. Pure cane sugar. I feel like this will make a good ice cream to have with those protein cookies that I just got. So let that mix and do its thing while I season up our steaks. I've been loving these grass-fed steaks from Aldi. They're so good. Ice cream might be a fail. I think I whipped it too much, but I put it in this little bread pan and then put it in the freezer. I mean, it tastes good, so it'll just be frozen something. Gotta do things sometimes, don't overthink it. I was also out of Parmesan cheese for my Caesar dressing, so I just used cheddar cheese, which I literally just took a bite of right now. I'm hoping this comes out good. I didn't taste it yet, but maybe I just created a happy accident. Okay, this is my favorite part. The whole house is in order, beside my slippers. Dinner is prepped. Rocco had dinner, and now we just wait for Alex to come home. And I love making a little ambiance. I lit some candles because he loves candles. Put on our favorite Pandora station, and it's just gonna be a Saturday night vibe.
You home yet?
Rocco, is that Papa? Is that Papa, Rocco? Rocco, it's Papa! It's Papa! Papa! Go get him. Oh, that's a good boy.
That's a good boy.
Hi, Papa. Oh my
Hi, Bench
God.
Buddy. Hi, Bench Buddy. That's a good boy.
Oh, that was perfect. My Valentine's Day flowers.
That's
I
a
was
good
gonna talk
boy.
them.
Oh, that's a good boy. I know.
You know what I need? I may have overcooked it a little, but it's still nice and soft. It's looking good.